Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
All right, part 2. This is going to be continuation, but we've had the addition of Maulana Hafiz Fahim Sahib with us to have his input, inshallah. Again, with the volunteers at MCM, with this brilliant team that's doing all the steering and all the hard work in the background. We finished the previous session, a discussion with funeral and how this team has been actively playing part in the funeral service. Now, other than the funeral service, which took the majority of that discussion, what else do you guys get involved in? So one, I've seen active roles you guys have played are, for example, with the youth. We've had monthly youth Qiyam nights, and you guys have played a massive role in that. How did all that come together?
How did it come together? I think it was more the imams in the masjid.
The imam of the masjid.
The head teacher of the masjid.
The one that asked the question started it, I think.
Yeah, I think
was
you
it?
just said we need volunteers.
I think.
Yeah.
So was it the same black cops who came in?
Yeah, I think that's all.
No, there was a bit more than
Black
that. I
Ops,
think
it
it
was
was,
the Black Ops.
we came in helping, and then we've had a lot of, because you've had two separate Qiyam nights. You've had ladies and as in girls, and then you've also had the boys ones. So I think the volunteer, we just come apart, and then you've been a lot of people helping out with the Qiyam nights.
I think you know what it was. I think we had fun doing it anyway. I know that one of the kids at one of the events that we did, or one of the activities, was archery. I know I really enjoyed that. For myself, not just for the kids. I enjoyed doing it for myself.
I think with that we all got involved, didn't we?
We did. I think that was one thing that we all like. It was quite good.
I think the kid in us came out.
Hello,
testing. Yeah, I think we all got involved as well when it came to the for the kids Qiyam ones.
No pressure.
Other than the graveyard shift, what takes most of your time as a team? What takes most of your time?
Everything
In relation to this mosque, what is it that you find yourself doing the most?
It depends. Obviously, you got special events.
Yeah.
You've got obviously we're in Ramadan right now, so we're in the last 10 days of Ramadan. We've got Itqaf sat in downstairs. We've got about 29 people in there, 28 people. We've been doing Itqaf or supporting or helping out the Itqaf area for the last 10 years, maybe. Probably longer.
So what is it that you guys do then? In Itqaf?
So we make sure that they that any of their needs are fulfilled in regards to arranging for food to be sorted out for downstairs
for the iftar.
For the iftar. We make sure we've actually built a little kitchen within the iftar
downstairs?
area. Yeah.
All right.
So you've got like cupboards and
You've
VIP.
got the floor now.
They say VIP. So you've got the kitchen. You've got a microwave sorted out. I think that microwave put there 10 years ago. Same one still being used, and it's still working. We put it away.
It's sort of used for 10 days, I guess.
Yeah, 10 days a year.
A long life.
I mean.
I think Brother Adil always donates his fridge for the last 10 nights. So they use his fridge as well. So we've made our own little.
You've got a little setup that comes in every year.
Yeah, I think what it is.
We've got a tea urn as well.
What they try to do is
for
to
Pani.
take away any need for the worldly need and take it away from them.
Yeah.
Kind of just focus on their,
Ibadah
ibadah and stuff like that, isn't it?
We've told them, so much as me, Hassan and Adil, that we're dealing with that side of it for iftar and, but then we have, what we do is the last 10 nights, we give an opportunity for someone to put their name down and they can feed. For that day, they want to feed the iftars to open their roza. For example, Brother Ansar here, he's taken one night. Was it yesterday you did it? Yeah. So he fed them to open their iftar. So everyone gets an opportunity as well.
That was a good scrum, that, by the way.
Yeah, that was a nice food.
We're not going to say where it comes from because that'll be like advertising.
So mashallah, they get the opportunity, and it's what Moin said. It takes the burden off them. They don't need to worry about ringing their loved ones. Can you bring me food? We've said to them, look, don't you worry about food. We'll do that. You just do your ibadat. And I think that as well itself gives us that sense of relaxation as well, where we know if we're doing it for them, hopefully they'll do dua for us. So it's a brownie point thing. But joking aside, it helps for me personally. It helps me as well. It gives you that inner peace that you're doing what you can do as well.
Do you ever find that volunteering, leads to? I'll give you an example. Sometimes we're at the front as imams, we're leading perhaps a big namaz or something like that. Do you ever feel like you're deprived of attending those things because you're at the back running the scene? Do you ever feel like your ibadah gets affected? Is what I'm trying to
Do you know
ask.
what? To be fair, yes. So if something does happen where we're needed, for example, you know, not pointing is some kids mess around in the masjid and they talk all the time. And you know, obviously we want to pray, but we try and do that side as well. So yesterday is a very good example. You know, little kids were messing around, but we missed literally the whole Tarawih.
No way.
And we do
Literally
feel it.
missed it.
We missed the whole, even the Isha prayer, unfortunately. You know, we missed it because we were trying to sort things out. So these kind of things do happen.
So these sacrifices you guys are constantly having to make.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, it's also like you say somebody, say for instance somebody falls ill in the masjid. We'll take ownership and say, right, we'll help this person. We've not had anything.
I think last year somebody collapsed, didn't he?
Yeah, so we had to call ambulances.
Yeah.
We've had ambulances here.
Wow.
We've had, you know,
One of the Namazi's.
yeah. So we've had
Passed away,
ambulances.
hasn't
What's that?
Yeah,
He's passed away now.
Yeah.
Haji? Haji.
Yeah.
Money, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've had collapses. We've had ambulances called. So that for
This-
us, it's a sense of we got Ibadat on one side, but we, like you were talking about yesterday, was it Hukuk Allah on one side, Hukuk Ibadat on the other side. We're doing our support on that side and that side wherever we possibly can.
And the thing is, we don't do it for show.
No.
I think it just naturally comes out. But you do, again, you miss some things, but you know, we do
Allah
it just
knows best.
naturally.
I mean, you know, when we have our the volunteers get together after Ramadan, I mentioned it last year as well. You know, it's easy for myself to be stood on the minbar and I'm getting all the attention. Whereas it's really the efforts, the hard work that you guys put in the background that allows people like myself, Hafiz Fahim, and the Imams to deliver, knowing that I've got the support of my entire volunteers team that are putting everything together.
They're like the mortar in between the bricks. isn't it?
Exactly,
That's what
exactly.
it's,
So, you know, when you have major events, we've had the likes of Habib Qadim come over. We've had, you know, the Burda night finale take place, which was
Amazing,
huge.
Which was amazing.
Yeah.
That was
Exactly.
amazing.
Then we have the annual Julus that takes place. That requires a massive team. And I feel this quite often. Maybe some volunteers may feel like, you know, we're not being appreciated. We don't get the appraisal. You know, it's easy for me to do a recital and feel like, Hafiz Sahab, you smashed it. But deep down, I know I'm only able to do that because of the support brothers
So at
like
the end of
yourself put us
Tarawih,
together.
all those people have lined up to shake our hands.
Yeah.
But what they haven't appreciated was who's been running the building whilst you've been able to stand there. Understand? They don't get the appreciation. Do you feel that you get a lack of appreciation?
No, me personally, yeah. I don't want that, Hassan. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Well
yeah.
done.
It's
I don't
not
need that
about-
from
it's not
you. I
about
don't need that from somebody to say, yeah, Hassan.
Just a
yes, I
brown
understand.
envelope will do. Right?
It wouldn't be all like a brown envelope.
We might see if you a brown envelope like that now.
Empty.
That's what a lot of people say. It needs to have something in it.
But I think obviously our reward, like we always say all the time, is we do it for the sake of.
Subhan.
Everything we do, you know, we could sit there and say, yeah, we want that, to have a joke aside, you know, want that brown envelope. It's not about that.
No, it's not.
We all
It's not
work.
really.
Look, at the end of the day, like, I know these brothers, they've got families. They're my brothers, they've got families. They sacrifice their time to be with, do khidmah of the people. They're sacrificing their time with their families. They could be sat at home with their, mashallah, they've got daughters and sons, mashallah, and he's got bunny. Mashallah. May Allah give the bunny a long
We'll
life.
bring the bunny
I
to the
mean,
podcast one day.
But, I mean, they're sacrificing time.
Of course they are.
You know, everyone's sacrificing something
And
to
I
do
think,
this work.
and I think if it wasn't for, alhamdulillah, I'm going to praise the wives here. If it wasn't for our wives, you know, they encourage us, mashallah, and mum as well, she encourages us. And if it wasn't for them, I don't think we'd be here. So
100% agree.
you know, big up to the wives. Big up.
Right.
Where's the camera?
This is probably the only time this is going to happen,
because
yeah.
of the
I've got a
families.
question. Maybe actually address this on another podcast, but it'd be better to have the answer from yourselves.
Good.
So someone put in a question, and it came from the lady herself. She said, "My husband does volunteer in a mosque, and what's happening, obviously, and what I've noticed with him is he comes. Well, he's not giving her rights in terms of time, and then whenever he hears things on the minbar that the imam says, do this, don't do that, he comes home and he takes that on the missus as well. So what would you advise to someone like that, where a volunteering has absorbed him, and it's not turning into something nice? What would you say to that person?
I think my view again is, do your furz, yeah. Wife, she's you know, she's got her furz as well. So spending time with your wife, spend time with them. Obviously, communication is the best form of it's the best thing to have in a relationship. If you don't talk to your partner, it can cause all them problems. So speak to your wife. If obviously give them time, I think. Give them
She's
time.
in a hard position because she can't say, you need to stop doing that now because that's Allah's house at the end of the day.
But again, it needs compromise. So
Yeah.
if she wants that time with her husband, the husband should give the time.
Yeah.
But again, compromise. So straight. I think straight on the table. If I give you this time, are you going to let me have my time there?
Okay.
But would
You know what I mean?
Can I-
Would you recommend
Well.
that person to volunteer less then, or have like a set amount of time? To volunteer?
I think so. Yeah. I think again, the wife is a
Within your
first.
team, do you monitor that? Do you think that he's been here for 15 hours, you need to go home now? man? Do you do that?
No,
do that.
no.
No.
we don't.
For the, I'd say I just get off. I don't take nothing, so I just get off.
Literally gets in the car and he's gone. Where's his hand gone?
And the funny thing
Where's
is,
his hand
we'll
gone?
see this happen shortly.
He's
Who
just
is
for the
in charge
record,
of-
he's scared of his
Who's
wife.
actually in charge of you lot?
No one's in charge.
Mother's in charge.
All right,
No,
okay.
no,
Yeah.
No, we,
As you know,
Oh, is
from
it the
home, no,
volunteers?
from volunteers, there's no set leader.
No
We
leader.
We just work with each other. We
Either
bounce
side.
off each other.
Yeah.
We
So we got-
actually
we-
bounce off each
We
other.
don't have chiefs.
Although we call
Adil
Adil
the
the
chief.
chief, but we help each other
we
out.
only call
always-
him chief because he's got the biggest beard out of all of us. That is the only reason.
No, I think Aman started off the chief.
Aman did, yeah.
Aman and Dia.
But there is no chief.
No, there is none. We all
We
kind of-
actually bounce off each other. And coming back to what you were saying about the wives, give you my example.
Go on.
It was my wife and my kids. They already know. It's set in stone that they already know.
This is the
The
screen.
last 10 days,
Yeah.
we might not see our dad, yeah, or I might not see him, or the husband's. They already know because I'm dedicating my time. Now, if we look at that, that's only 10 days.
Yeah.
If we're actually looking at the long period of coming here from just before Maghrib and not going to near time Fajr, that's the only time where they will not. But then,
And again, they support that. don't
They
Would you,
support
would
that.
you say that's coming from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, where even in the last 10 days of Ramadan he would, seclude himself from his family? And I mean, like, look, even the family of the Prophet ﷺ, they were not people like me and you. They would worship, regardless of whether they were with each other or not with each other. Even then, the Prophet ﷺ still kept that, separation just for the last 10 days of Ramadan. So, like, if you think about it like that, it's fulfilling the
Alhamdulillah,
Sunnah,
so,
alhamdulillah.
so I've been blessed on that side of it. Yeah, I'll just take her on a
फिर
holiday.
रमजान तो बाद पता लगूगा.
Hey, look, listen, we'll give it a holiday, isn't it? But
That's it.
alhamdulillah.
He's not
But if
doing
we're
that.
looking at what you
But
were
again,
saying,
that's a compromise.
Yeah.
He's taking that 10 days. The wife and the kids are letting him have them. He takes them away on holiday. Everyone's happy.
Everyone's happy they get
they
rewarded.
do get that.
So I
Yeah,
think,
treat-
it's a
The compromise on both sides.
Both
innit?
sides.
But I think, when you're volunteering, when you were saying before about the sister's question, I think it depends on the timing that they're away for.
Yeah.
Because I'm talking about the last 10 days. They are really long hours, man. You're here, you're reading
I think we
Tarawih,
can be here from 6 o'clock till 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock in the morning. So that's already taking you.
I mean, pretty much I see you all the time.
We're
I
here.
see you more than my wife. Yeah.
In the last 10 days.
Last 10 days.
yeah. So no, with the sister, I think if you just give it like 4 hours here and 3 hours
2
there,
hours there,
it's
yeah.
actually
not-
not
that's
it's not actually something I would be concerned about, or my wife would be concerned about from my side of it. Looking at my side of it, I think what it is that I think there might be more to it. I think if we're looking into demons, there's probably more to it because
fair
a
enough.
couple of hours going off here and there, you're not working for 8 hours of the day.
Fair enough.
So yeah. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, and of course, until they don't support, I don't think none of this could be possible.
Of course.
Yeah, and
You need
like
the support, 100%.
that they always say, behind every successful man, has to be the support of a woman. That's always going to be there. Yeah, and in your case, you've mentioned your mother a few times.
Yeah.
What's the role she plays?
So, Mum, alhamdulillah, like even now,
Throughout the last 10 nights as well, and since Dad's passed away, she gets a bit lonely, even though, brothers are living with her. But she knows herself that I'd rather you guys do this because she knows that Dad will get the benefit. She encourages us, she pushes us. Go and help at the masjid, do what you have to do. There's days where mashallah, I see Mum every day, but for the last 10 nights, I hardly see her. I feel the void there. But, Mum understands that. She goes, no, you guys are doing what you need to do. And again, Mum supports us on that as well. So big up to me as well. All Mum says is just do dua for Dad and do dua for her.
hard.
So,
So hard.
alhamdulillah, she supports us as well.
Right, question. You're all obviously working men as well. So how do you balance your work life and volunteering? And have you ever found that they're clashing, or there's compromises? Or
So the way I see it is, right, so we've got a strong team. Yeah? We've got 12, 13, 14 people in the group.
Yeah.
So if it comes to where people talk about going back to Janazah or whatever it is, there could be a time where
I can't do it.
he can't do it, or I can't do it, he can't do it, but there'll be times where Ansar can do it, and nobody else can do it.
Yeah, and then we've got
So as long as we've got somebody that can do something, we end up being, there will be a representative
Look,
within.
everyone works differently.
It could be Umar, our maintenance brother. Yeah?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, yeah.
Maintenance
yeah,
of the
like
group, he
Alhamdulillah.
maintains the group.
Maintains everything.
So he should really have been here today.
Yeah,
Well, I think he's camera shy. So we're going to play this part back to him.
He's just shy.
He's just shy full stop.
No, I think with Umar, he doesn't like to put
Allah
himself.
bless
him.
He
Yeah.
likes. He's
He
proper
does more.
behind
He
the
really does. He puts more effort in than you actually even know.
No.
You will walk into the masjid, no word of a lie. You look at the screens that are up, you'll think, oh,
How
they've
did
come
they
up
get
there.
up?
Where they come from? Umar's done it.
But then when you
I-
say it, he'll say that.
So I didn't do it. You come inside, there was toilet tissue paper thing is broken. Oh, there's new ones on there now. Oh, I didn't do it though, but I know he's done it.
Yeah.
Somehow.
He doesn't.
never say he
Not one of
doesn't
them.
do it, he just doesn't.
Yeah,
I think
he
just on this
talk
table,
about-
we can all recall somewhere where he's actually.
Oh, of course.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
Up and beyond.
Oh, beyond.
Allah bless,
Beyond.
bless him and the
Beyond.
likes of him, mashallah.
Any others that are not here?
Many.
that we can
We've got-
mention.
We've got Anwar. We've got Amr upstairs, and when they help on the scarf side, Shuaib,
The food side, iftar side.
iftar side.
There's
sorry.
loads, you know loads of names. I
Yes, sir, as well,
name.
man.
And you know the good thing about going-
Gesser.
Shout out to him.
And then a lot of the things as well, you get a lot of the youngsters who look at us as well, again,
And
you know,
want to
lead
do
by
it.
example, and they want to.
Yeah.
We've had
Look
two
at
brothers.
Samir, you got all those youngsters as
Yeah,
well.
Samir actually told
They've
us
seen
they,
your point.
they want
They've
to.
actually said it to me. We've seen what they're like, and we want to be like that. We want to be the next ones when they pass it on to us.
So just like Farahbag gave you guys opportunity,
We need to give them the opportunity.
you gotta pass it on. Allow them to. tell
We're
you.
doing all the delegation we can right now. We're delegating everything.
About work.
So,
Balancing
Is there any
work, volunteering.
Compromise, clashes. What have you seen?
no, I've been okay. My work, you guys have been okay with your work.
Well, it depends on what you're working. If you're self-employed, then you control your time. If we're looking at working for someone, I call it modern slavery because you've given yourself time. You give
9 to 5.
you are their slave. You are owned by them. So when you work for yourself, you're actually you choose what you want to do, how you want to do it. You have to manage that time.
Ansar can manage his time.
And I can manage his time.
I can manage my
Right,
time.
alhamdulillah.
Even though I'm employed, I can manage my time. My work's quite flexible in regards to that.
Yeah.
And majority of the time, if I'm working, they will know I'm working, and I won't support that. If I'm off on a Friday, I'll always take a Jum off, so I'll help anything on a Friday. I'm off mostly on the Sundays. Sundays, if there's anything there, I'll help.
So I think it's between. I think it is a hard one. It's balancing.
I think is it. Like, I guess it's like the gaps. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
one
fill the void.
person's not available.
Yeah, someone else will
be
fill in.
available. And that's why it's important to have that kind of.
What, like the gaps in Salah?
Yeah, like the gaps in Salah, filling the
Please
gaps
tap
with
it a
the
little bit more
khalal.
on this.
With the khalal. You have those gaps that you fill in, and everyone, mashallah, they complement
Plays
one
it,
another.
yeah.
I mean, alhamdulillah, if one person's lacking in one place, there'll be someone else that can fill that.
We've got obviously Nawazish, who's not actually well at the moment with his legs, with his sciatica.
Yeah, he normally helps with it.
He helps normally with the scarf side, and obviously he would have been a great part here now, giving us more information about the scarf side. Then we've got Zubair as well.
Question. So there's a lot of activity during Ramadan. Now post Ramadan, do you feel because there's a lack of volunteering opportunities, there's a sort of depression? Do you feel like now that volunteering you do it daily?
Oh yeah,
it's part of your life?
So what happens
Do you
is
feel the void now?
no. So what happens is when it comes to Ramzan, I'm on a hype. I'm buzzing. I can't wait for the next Ramzan to come already.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly doing it.
And as soon as
Every day.
Ramzan's finished, it feels like it's game over.
It's depression, you get into that depression.
It's a depression,
mode,
innit? Yeah.
That ton of bricks is falling on your
Because
head.
Dad always used to say is put your heart in the masjid. No matter what you do, Dad never forced us to go uni, college, anything. Because as long as your heart is in the masjid, he was happy.
Wow.
And I think what you were saying that once, like Nassam was saying, once Ramadan's over, you feel that void. You feel a bit of depression, and that's why we can't wait. Even like Rabiul Awwal, when it comes, we're excited because we're there for 12 days. That's a longer period, like same as Ramadan. So yeah, we feel that void. I feel it anyway.
No,
it's true.
I think
So no one
I think
feels like yes, it's over.
No,
I start crying, man. I'm
we're
gutted.
already we were sat there before. We were like, oh my god, it's
We're on
Friday.
27th night tonight.
We we've got what's it?
The
We've
election
got-
starts
tomorrow.
tomorrow
So
night.
it's not like, oh yeah, we're gonna relax afterwards. But you do start feeling
But
it.
the relaxation is being in the
Is
masjid.
being.
Allah.
It's
Nice.
It's better being in the masjid. It's a good feeling.
So moving forward, so post Ramadan, you said that is that void. What is it that you can do to keep the masjid lively after Ramadan? Because it also seems like after that your role is limited to just the funeral service, or it's limited to if there was a major event.
Yeah, but even
But then
funerals-
there's nobody around.
So even funerals, it does take a lot out of somebody. You know, we were talking about how much you have to, you know, go to the graveyard or even collection of the deceased or whatever. It's still quite a bit to do. Do you know what I mean? So we always got that link to the masjid. Whether it's a funeral, whether it's just coming to read a salah, or coming for Jummah and supporting on Jummah day itself. You know,
And I think with the committee side, they're not shy to say, yeah, answer, you go and do that. They won't be shy. They'll be like, oh, and you'll hear your voices come from the side. Come and do this, come and do that, come and do that, and that you'll just get that. You'll get that. So alhamdulillah, that side of it is okay. And it's nice. It's nice.
Okay, from a management
That's
point
it.
of view, how much freedom do you actually have? Flexibility,
management from
as
the
from the EC executive committee.
I think because they've. I think because they know, I think trust has become a big thing with them now, and they do trust us to do certain things. So with the management, alhamdulillah, we've got a very good relationship. Very good relationship.
I mean, I believe yourself, you're in the shura as well, aren't you?
yes.
MashaAllah.
Hesitation.
What is your name?
Hey, you all love Manchester now. How's that Victoria Park Masjid?
Okay, one team I think that doesn't get any mentioning is the security team outside.
Oh, they do a lot.
Yeah, they do a lot. They get cussed by everyone.
They get abuse.
They get abuse. I know they do.
They get abuse.
But they just about attend the 2 farz of a Jummah, the second Jummah as well.
Yeah.
Other than that, whether it's snow, it's a storm, it's rain, whatever situation it is, they're outside.
I suppose there is a slight difference in security
They're getting
teams.
paid.
They are getting paid. But definitely the job they do is not an easy task.
I think what it is you people working with people is very hard. People, they want, everybody's there. I want to read namaz. I need to get there on time. I'll park anywhere. I will park. They just want to get here, and it can get tough. It can get tough.
Have you ever been called in to assist security?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All the time.
Every yesterday.
Yesterday as well. I think a lot of people would get angry and they take it out on the security guards, and they've been told that just don't argue with anyone. But they've got a very tough job to do. I've seen one day I was just out there for 10 minutes and I can't do this.
I mean, we've seen of a recent case of someone being attacked in it.
Yeah.
Does that ever scare you?
No.
No, alhamdulillah, we have faith in Allah in it. We'll be
Mashallah.
alright.
Plus, your role is inside the masjid.
Yeah,
so you're
yeah,
more safe.
we do inside, yeah.
Whereas being outside,
But even though we do it inside, you know, there was times where people used to put the, you know, there was people throwing, you know, going in non-Muslims, throwing stuff in the masjid, etc. So we would alert on them things as well.
And yeah, we're quite alert. You know what happens is once social media starts thinking if there's something's happening at a certain masjid, they always step up outside anyway. They'll liaise with the guys inside, whether it's us or whether it's a committee, whatever it is, and then we all end up having our eyes open wider, as you can say, yeah, to make sure we do whatever we can to assist the smooth running of the masjid, you could say.
I think as a community, generally, we don't make it easy for people. We don't. We make it we make it harder. And it's the month of Ramadan. We shouldn't really make it harder for people. We should be making it easy for everyone. Look, everyone wants to come to the masjid. Everyone wants to read Tarawih. They want to read Isha. They want to get their iftar. Everyone's hungry. Everyone's hungry. I think what we lack as a community is that basic patience when it comes to the month of Ramadan for people.
Iftar and how the iftar is run in the mosque. That's a whole different ballgame. What I want to ask yourselves, though, all of you here, we talked about how people let you into this role, Faraq let you into this role, whatever. What do you want to do going forward as youth watching this? What's your message for them? And are you going to open avenues for them to come get involved?
Yeah, I personally think if anybody wants to get involved, they just come and say, listen, I want to do some work. It could be from, you know, we were talking about, we had masjid cleanup.
Yeah.
Straight, great example. You know, we pushed out to, you know, messages via whatever it was, and kids. We actually had young lads coming in, whether they were hoovering the masjid, whether they were wiping down the windows, whether they were cleaning the toilets.
Yes, so the
for argument's
advice is
sake.
just come, get involved.
You get involved, the opportunities are there. You know, you can come, and if you feel like something's dirty, that
pick
might
it up.
pick up a cloth
Pick it up.
and start cleaning.
I think people feel shy, don't they?
You pick it up.
Everyone-
It's everybody's masjid. It's everybody's.
Everyone's
Everybody's.
part of this group, innit?
Yeah.
Everyone's
Everybody's masjid.
Like they were saying, innit? Our masjid, our future.
MashaAllah. Allah.
That's the
That's the masjid motto at the moment. Our masjid, our future.
I was in, I think it was Birmingham Masjid. I walking in and I started to, as I walked through the doors and I couldn't get in. I couldn't literally put my feet in. All I did was move a few shoes down, and some brother comes up to me, just I don't even know who he was. He thought I was from the masjid. I said, no, sorry, I'm just visiting. And all I was just doing is moving the shoes out of the way so nobody falls over. So it doesn't actually take.
it don't take much.
It doesn't take much at all. It doesn't matter where you are.
But why do you think that is it? Why do you think people don't... I'm trying to word this properly, the question. Like you were saying, you know, everyone can get involved. But some people don't see it that they can.
Hesitate.
Yeah, they
There's
hesitate to do it.
misconceptions. You walk into a giant building and you assume a building this big has got its own people to do its own job.
Right, okay.
People assume that they don't realize that, you know, there is cleaners, but most of the cleaning is volunteering.
Yeah, but because even if you
Appreciate
pick...
that.
Even if you pick some off the masjid floor and put it in the bin, I'm sure there's...
Yeah, even
There's
the
a-
smallest thing you pick up.
Yeah.
I remember my father teaching us from a very young age. The bare minimum you can expect is at least 10 deeds.
Yeah.
Every good deed. So that's one good deed. That's one speck of dust you picked up.
And you put it
A
in the
little
bin,
tissue
yeah.
piece or something, yeah. That's 10 good deeds. Imagine somebody who's doing a hoover,
Yeah.
the vacuum cleaner, yeah, and he's using that, and he's cleaning everything off the floor. He's getting millions and millions on the spot.
We've had five.
Let's go and hoover up now.
No, we've had 5 volunteers, which was none of us.
There was none of us.
None of us
Really?
actually hoovering the masjid today.
Today, yeah.
Actually, we've seen
Yeah.
this.
And you
But,
know, sorry.
No, go.
I was going to say cleaning the mosque is actually a prophetic amal to do, prophetic action. But Allah commands Ibrahim alayhi salam and his son Ismail, and tahira, purify my house. So it's a prophetic amal. And what else comes to mind was there was a lady at the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it's mentioned she was a black lady. It's also mentioned it could have been a black man. The narrations now, it's 2 narrations, and that person would voluntarily clean the mosque of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Masjid Nabawi. And one day that person passed away.
That's right.
His janazah was prayed, and the person was buried. When the Prophet ﷺ found out that he wasn't informed that such a person had been buried, he was actually quite upset at the scene. He said, "Go and show me where the grave of that person is."
Yeah.
And he ﷺ himself went and performed the janazah of that person.
Yeah.
Again, 2 janazahs performed for that person. It shows you the value in the sight of Allah and His Rasul ﷺ, those people who come and the house of Allah.
We
they
were talking about
clean
the
it.
five people that were cleaning the masjid today. There's one brother that's here from India. From India.
Yeah.
First year here. And you know what he said to me? He goes, there's more Islam in Manchester than India where I'm from. Look at that. How do we work that one out?
I mean, he's got involved, obviously.
He's got involved.
Yeah, and he's seen that community.
Yeah, he goes, there's people, there's pure love, there's
Welcoming
actually,
and-
there's more
So,
action, people pray here.
I mean,
People
quite a few people have asked me as well, for example, in this Ramadan alone, where can I get involved? I would just turn up
Just turn up, yeah.
and speak to any of the brothers. If you see somebody doing something, just approach him and ask him where you can get involved. We're always in need of more hands. The more people get involved, the faster the job can be
Mosques
done.
aren't turning anybody down. In fact,
No, no,
Never, yeah,
no,
we never do.
no way.
we're open.
We've
Never
not got
do,
a
yeah.
volunteer's phone. We've not got a volunteer's phone. All we've got is one of the brothers' phone. Just take his number. You can do that if you need to. If not, just turn up.
Yeah.
Just be here.
It's
If
like
you're
demand, isn't it?
yeah,
He came every day.
you just here.
Then he's just here. Yes, subhanallah.
And
I
then
mean,
you
I
recognise the face.
I remember ulama say, for example, if somebody, by cleaning the house of Allah, you're actually cleaning the dirt of your heart.
Subhanallah.
It's removing the illnesses of the heart by you cleaning the toilets of the masjid.
So I think we need to start encouraging that more as volunteers.
Well,
As volunteers, yeah.
as a community, we always
Shall I lead by
complain.
example?
Inshallah.
So no, we have people always complaining
Yeah.
that the toilets are not the cleanest. If you come to the masjid right at the beginning of the day, just before, say for example, we're in Ramadan now, yeah, and before Tarawih, just after Maghrib,
Carry on.
All right, okay.
What's happened? Carry-
So, you know, they actually clean. You know, they get dirty throughout the day, and then they'll get cleaned again. But they're volunteers that are doing them. These are people that are coming in at their own time and they're coming to clean up.
Because you've got hundreds, if not thousands, in and out in one day. And in Ramadan particularly, at for example Taraweeh, you've easily got 1,000 people coming in.
Easy.
Unless you've got Jummah and you've got a Janaza and you've got the iftar every day here has
There's
been
about
between
600 people that turn up.
700 people doing iftar alone. Wow, that's a huge task.
Yeah. And unfortunately, as volunteers, we do get a bit of stick as well from the namazis. So it's not just all, you know, rainbows and unicorns. So we sometimes we do get a little bit of backlash as well. Like, oh, you know, why are you telling me this for? Why are you telling me that for? Or why have you not done that? Why have you not done that? But obviously we have to just try and keep our cool, alhamdulillah. We try and keep it. But sometimes my advice to some people is that we're going out of our own way to try and make it easy for you.
Subhanallah.
Yeah.
Subhanallah.
Give us a bit of slack. We're doing what we can do.
They do,
And you know what, alhamdulillah.
The team upstairs, they're working, man.
Yeah,
They're working. They're here from before us, so they're on it.
Mashallah,
They're here
doing a good
before
job.
you.
100 people every day is getting fed here, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, it's five.
700 people, wow.
So if you're serving those 700 people, those people that are serving, they're not having their iftar by the way.
Sometimes
They've not
they don't-
eaten
they
for
don't
up
get
to an
iftar.
hour.
Sometimes they don't even get iftar. The
Yeah, sometimes.
volunteers,
Because they've
Allah.
so everything's gone. They're just relying
Little
on one
bit, yeah.
fajur until Taraweeh, where they get a chance to.
I personally witnessed where we've needed to have 2 shifts. So if you fed 500 and they've got another 200 waiting.
Yeah.
So everything's been given out.
Yeah.
And then when we had the kids iftar,
Oh,
yeah, I remember the volunteers, we had to then order more food
Yes.
afterwards just to feed them because completely run
Yeah,
out.
mashallah, about 900 kids turned up that day.
That's just a kid plus the 700 normal people for iftar.
Plus their
iftar,
plus
yeah.
their adults.
Because that day we fed the
Around
kids.
2,000 people were fed that night. Wow.
We fed the boys downstairs that day, didn't we? That was another thing that we did as well there. That was a challenge.
Yeah, to wrap it up, it's been very
massive
inspiring
challenge
for
for myself.
myself as well, even as an employee of the institute, that I want to do more volunteering as well. And we encourage everyone, look, you'll find a richness and the proof's in the pudding. Come try it and you'll actually see for yourself. Everyone here, you can see there's a contentment on your face, mashallah. That's one thing I always noticed with you brothers. There's a contentment on your face. And I think I know where it's coming from based on today's podcast, innit? So Jazakallah to all of you brothers. Allah reward you for all of your efforts. Allah send all the reward that you've attained to your noble father's grave as well, and to all your deceased members, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Maulana, any concluding remarks?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.